Приветствовать, уважаемые гости, студенты, наши дорогие судьи. Спасибо вам, что нашли время в этот субботний день, в эту красивую дату присоединиться к нам, собраться все вместе, чтобы провести финал нашего кейс-чемпионата M&A кейс IB-клуб экономического факультета МГУ. Для начала хотел бы поблагодарить за возможность провести данное мероприятие наших попечителей с экономического факультета МГУ, Никитушкину Ирину Владимировну и Студникова Сергея Сергеевича. Дорогие друзья, в этом году мы хотели выразить огромную благодарность нашим спонсорам Эсприн Капитал и Адванс Капитал. Эти две организации действительно сегодня лидеры M&A рынка в России. Так что приветствуем их. Их представители также есть сегодня у нас в числе судей. Наверное, все здесь присутствующие знают, что такое IB-клуб, но все же, возможно, нас смотрят новые люди, которые в будущем хотели бы к нам присоединиться. IB-клуб – это студенческая организация, которая создана в 2009 году студентами МГУ. И изначально предполагалось как открытые мероприятия, семинары, воркшопы от представителей индустрии. Впоследствии был создан, собственно, кейс, на финале которого сегодня мы с вами присутствуем. Немного детальней про кейс. Это уникальная платформа коммуникации между студентами не только МГУ, но и всех вузов. Любой желающий может податься к нам в начале учебного года, успешно пройти интервью, освоить в ходе прохождения курса компетенции, которые в дальнейшем помогут им устроить свою карьеру. Ну и главная ценность, наш value – это network. Он действительно значительный. Много людей за эти 15 лет прошли через наши стены, и это наше большое преимущество. Здесь на слайде вы можете видеть бывшие наши уже прошедшие мероприятия, прямо начиная с 2011 года. За эти годы нам удалось покрыть практически все индустрии, и последние 2 года у нас присутствуют международные компании. Раньше рассматривали только российские. Ну, в целом, эти все компании и участие в кейсе помогают ребятам значительно подтянуть свои навыки, подготовиться к выходу на работу или продвинуться уже на текущей работе. Как я сказал, эта платформа предполагает одновременно и образование, которое можно совмещать с учебой, работой, и нетворк, потому что для финансовой индустрии это критически важно. В ходе M&A кейса студенты изучают техническую часть, также участвуют в различных активностях, которые организуются нашей командой, которая, опять же, состоит из бывших участников M&A кейса, наших выпускников. Благодарим их также за их труд в ходе учебного года. Для тех, кто смотрит нас впервые или хочет к нам присоединиться, здесь представлен индикативный процесс того, чего мы делаем в ходе учебного года. Но также все эти материалы можно найти у нас в наших публичных соцсетях. Мы надуниверситетская организация. Сегодня мы представлены ведущими вузами Москвы и даже Санкт-Петербурга. И очень рады этому широкому бэкграунду студентов, которые объединяем мы все в одном месте. Наши выпускники работают в лидирующих фирмах, организациях инвестбанковской направленности и в целом финансов. И M&A кейс, никто не даст соврать, это действительно достойная организация, которая дает студентам ценность и дальше объединяет их. Приветствуем наших судей. Это Алексей Куприянов, директор Эспринг Капитал, Артур Шубаев, партнер, исполнительный директор Адванс Капитал, Артем Колобаев, директор Сбер Merchant Banking, Desk Natural Resources, и Андрей Минеев, Head M&A Uranium One Group Росатом. Дорогие друзья, не думаю, что стоит затягивать, пора приступить к докладам студентов. Уважаемые студенты, имейте в виду тайминг, уважайте всех присутствующих, ваших коллег, судей. Матвей, передаю тебе слово.
Да, Вова, спасибо. Ребят, можете начинать. Первая команда Арсеналит. У вас будет 10 минут, и после этого вам судьи также зададут несколько вопросов.
So let's start. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Today we are going to present you the potential acquisition of Sigma Lithium by Albemarle Corporation. Next slide. Here our team. Yes. We propose Albemarle to acquire 100% of Sigma Lithium. The financial structure of the deal: 8% equity and 22% cash. So let's begin with market overview. The lithium market is considered one of the fastest growing in recent years, and the production of batteries for the electric vehicles is a key driver for in the demand for lithium. And the next slide, please. At the beginning of 2024, the total measured and indicated lithium resources are about 105 million tons. And nowadays, there are some big producers, lithium producers, with a huge potential growth. And Sigma Lithium is one of these companies. And in 2023, a company announced the initiation of commercial production, and with this attracted the attention of big investors. Dima, tell us about Sigma Lithium.
Yeah, thanks. Sigma Lithium's business model revolves around the exploration, development, and production of high-quality lithium products. The company focuses on the sustainable extraction of lithium, a key component in batteries for electric vehicles and energy storage systems. One of the brightest benefits is its cost, which allows converters to have additional margin in their products at about 30%. Bro, continue, please.
Yeah, the Grotto di Scilio is the key project of Sigma Lithium, and increased mineral resources by 28% to 109 million ton. Made this project, Grotto di Scilio, became one of the largest lithium projects on the North and South America. And Nikita, guide us please to valuation section.
Thank you. So the fair value of Sigma Lithium was derived with two main approaches: DCF, based on the management comments and technical reports on the first stages of production on three main reservoirs and deposits, and the net asset value model for undeveloped resources. So the resulting equity value is 4.1 billion USD, which takes into account the net debt into bridge, and also the operating working capital relief in the end of the production cycle of the company. So Dima, please discuss the multiples for you.
Yeah, thanks. Peers were picked with which are already producing and mature, and we use NTM multiple to take into account future growth of the company, and also EV resource multiple, because resource is our another key advantage for Sigma Lithium. Sigma Lithium multiples are lower than market's median. Next slide, please. Also, there were picked 5 precedent transactions for past 2 years, which are under criteria of sector, diversified metals and mining, size more than $20 million, and location, US, Western Europe. Median EV/EBITDA multiple here is 8.4x. Nikita, continue, please.
Yes, under the sum of the parts approach, the implied equity share price of Sigma Lithium is $41. However, we propose sufficient transaction price of $35, which is 10% premium to the trading share price. And also, it is the price of the lower sum of the parts range of our valuation. So, Dmitry, please guide us through the deal analysis. Dmitry, we can't hear you.
So I believe Dmitry have some problems with connection. Here is the list of some potential buyers. We've already told that we picked Sigma Corporation, and here are some metrics we can use. Next slide, please. Here we announced some synergies. Mostly it's about geography, becoming a monopolist in the industry, and of course reducing cost per unit because of Sigma Lithium business model. Also, there are some potential tax benefits because of jurisdiction in where Sigma Lithium operates. Next slide, please. Here we present revenue synergies. Because of type of this deal, the synergy will show the most of its impact in 2026, mostly because of market share synergy. Next slide, please. Nikita, can you guide us with SG&A cost synergy?
Yeah, so the SG&A cost synergy accounts for staff cutting due to the merge of 2 companies. So the staff cuts will count for management team, HR, IT, back office, and legal department. So the total reduction in OPEX due to these synergies will be 70.3%, calculated by our team. Next slide, please. Dima, please continue with deal analysis.
Okay, thanks. We took a lowest valuation of some of the parts analysis for offer share price. This is 10% lower than share price on the fixed date. 78% of the deal will be financed by Albemarle equity, and 22% with cash, which is already on Albemarle balance. Acquirer net debt EBITDA multiple is already high, so we consider the deal with additional debt is not recommended. As a result of this deal, EPS of Albemarle will be higher than if it does not acquire Sigma Lithium. Next slide, please. The top charts show that synergies will positively impact mostly EBITDA and net income. Below, in absolute values, are the tax advantages due to the increased tax shield and OPEX benefits. That is all from us, and we're ready to answer your questions.
Thank you, guys, for the good presentation. Maybe I can start. The first question is, do I understand correctly that you look at the target from the perspective of Albemarle shareholders and the board?
Can you go into detail in this question? What do you particularly mean?
Да, коллеги, я, может, там на русском повторю, чтобы не было недопонимания. Ну, то есть вот у вас как бы вот эта презентация, она с точки зрения как бы на кого направлена? То есть на акционеров и на борд компании-покупателя?
We're on sell side. We're advising them for a potential buyer.
Okay, great. So also I've noticed that you mentioned in your presentation that you will create an absolute monopolist. Is it correct? Because I'm not sure that the market share of the United company will be 100%. Or can you clarify this?
Yeah, so the idea is that maybe we should be more correct. The leader, the minimum positioning was the leader. Yes, the leader of the lithium market. So acquiring Sigma Lithium, we create the leader. Yes.
Yeah, I guess it will be more. It will sound more correctly if we say that you will create a leader, but probably not the absolute monopolist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also one more question from my side. I've noticed that the target capital structure in your presentation was. I'm not sure that about exact figures, but I think it's something around 90% debt and 10% equity. Can you please comment how did you get to these figures?
Dima, please, can you comment on deal analysis, the financing structure?
Yeah, can I go back to the slide? Okay, that's the slide you mentioned, let's say, right?
No, I'm not sure. I think not this one.
Your question is about acquirer or target?
I think it was the slide when you showed the calculation of weighted average cost of capital.
Yeah. Dmitry, can I please? Nikita, I believe it's this.
Yes.
No, where is this evaluation, Dmitry?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, here. Yes, that was our analysis that was based on the average capital structure of the peer companies. We based our analysis on this metric, and because of Sigma Lithium is the company which will increase its production of lithium, it starts to produce it. Yes, so starts the upstream production, and we thought that we can rely in our capital structure on the median of the peer companies of the Sigma Lithium. Yes, so the same lithium producers, upstream producers of lithium.
Okay, so the short answer that you based on peer analysis, yeah.
Yes, mainly we decided to stop on that capital structure based on the peer analysis, and that's it.
Okay, thank you. Maybe my colleagues will also have some questions. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alexey, thank you. Guys, thank you very much for your presentation. I have several questions. Could you please elaborate more on the rationale of the deal? So what is the logic, what is the reason for the potential acquirer to purchase deposit, I mean, to focus on the resource basis rather than, for example, vertical integration? So the first question. And the second one, what is the premium to the current market capitalization of the target, or what is the premium to the capitalization as of the date of your analysis, and why should the purchaser pay that premium? How would you explain this, please? Thank you.
Nikita, should you answer this question, or
you can start it when I will continue.
Okay, the question about the synergy, why this might be impactful for Albemarle, right? Okay, here we should go with geographic expansion and production of Albemarle. This acquisition of Sigma Lithium can bring Albemarle on the new market of South America. Also, one of the brightest benefits, I believe, is cost reduction, because as we mentioned earlier, Sigma Lithium business model, Sigma Lithium production costs are really lower due to technology and other factors. So this can impact on Albemarle activity. Also, there are some tax benefits in case of moving to Brazilian Brazilian jurisdiction where Sigma Lithium operates. So that's the first part of your question. And can you remind me about the premium, right?
Yeah, sure. About the premium to the current market capitalization.
We have set a date on which we have analyzed on this deal. This is 31 of December 2023, and From this date, our premium in this deal is 10%. 10%.
Thank you. And what is the difference between the implied EV/EBITDA multiple for the target company based on your proposal and the EV/EBITDA multiple of the potential acquirer? How the deal would affect the EV/EBITDA multiple of the combined company?
I believe we have analyzed earnings per share ratio, and we have a slide on deal analysis where this is showed. You can see in low part of the slide buyer EPS versus consolidated EPS. So there is a difference if there is acquisition or if there is no acquisition. And you asked currently about Sigma Lithium EV/EBITDA multiple, right? Also.
Sure.
Yeah. In comparable analysis, we used EV/EBITDA NTM multiple because it takes into account future growth of the company. So EV/EBITDA multiple for Sigma Lithium is lower than median market. Median market is about 9, and Sigma Lithium NTM multiple is about 6.6x. So this means that we are not overvalue Sigma Lithium from previous analysis.
6.6 is for Sigma Lithium, right?
Can you repeat, please?
Multiple 6.6 is for Sigma Lithium or the...
Can you go back to comparable analysis? One more back. Yeah, here you can see on the low part of the slide, Sigma Lithium EV/EBITDA NTM is 6.6 and median is 11.4.
Okay, 15.4. Okay. So the last question from my side, you mentioned also at your presentation that the combined company, there are some revenue synergies and combined company can affect lithium prices. Could you please explain how it's possible and what would be the combined market share of the company?
Okay, thank you for the question. Let me start. As my colleagues told before, we choose the horizontal integration and vertical integration as benefits of acquisition of Sigma Lithium or acquisition Sigma Lithium by Admirale, and the most point of our presentation is that this acquisition reduces the impact of competition. As we show in the market overview, there are not so many big producers of Sigma Lithium, and when we in this moment when we deal this with Admirale, we can control over the market, and the market share will increase by 2x%.
But what would be the result of the market share of the combined company? Will it be approximately like 30% maybe, or I don't know, 10, 50? What is the approximate figure?
I think we made this analysis, but we don't show it up on the slides. So I think the expert opinion would say that it will be between 20-30%. Yes, would be quite straightforward. I think we got these values in our analysis, 20 or 30%.
I didn't hear quite well. So what is the figure approximately?
Yeah, approximately 20, 26, 27%. The share of the combined company.
Yeah, as Nikita tell, I can add that we also look and similar deals in the market, not only in lithium market, but also in some another mineral resources market, and the average, yes, increasing of share was around 25% to 30%. But if we talk about the lithium market, yes, as Nikita said, it's between 26-27%.
But actually, lithium is like a commodity. It's not. So, what do you think about lithium market? Is it a market of a purchaser or a market of a supplier? And what market share is sufficient, you believe, to really have an impact on the prices? Because from my point of view, lithium is a commodity, and if you have a market share like maybe 25-30%, you cannot affect the market price. So yeah. I doubt if these synergies are really achievable given the deal is completed.
Thank you. So we think that maybe mainly the lithium market is the demand market. Maybe the recent events with China, yes, showed us that maybe the lithium is the demand market. Yes, so we think that we gave a low percent of increase to the price of the lithium due to this merger of two lithium companies. So we think that we made some conservative figures to this side of synergy, yes, to the price increase of the lithium. So I think that we can make it. We can make it the increase of the lithium prices, but it would be just a slight increase. So we don't see that we just try to move or dictate the price mainly and to formulate it, but a slight increase in price can occur due to these mergers.
Okay, guys, thank you. I have no other questions.
Yeah, thank you for your questions.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, thank you for the presentation. I just have two quick questions. The first one is regarding the sum of the parts analysis, which you mentioned on practically all the slides of the valuation section. But you, as far as I understand, maybe I missed it, but you don't explain in the presentation. So what's the sum of the parts? So which assets do you value, and where the valuation method differs for them? Because that's the main point, the main reasoning to use the sum of the parts. And the second question is, maybe you answer the first one, and then I'll ask the second.
Yeah. So the sum of the parts approach was based on the summation of the two approaches, as I've said before, the DCF and net asset value approaches. The DCF approach actually valued the first stage projects on the deposits of the company, where we had management comments on the production costs, capex mainly. Yes, the main thing that we brought our attention to. So, and the second part is net asset value model, which we made for undeveloped resources of the company. So we didn't have management comments, technical reports on the production of these deposits. So we tried to give our own expert opinion, and based on consensus reports on the about the company. Yes, consensus estimates of the potential cost of development of these resources, and some like transportation costs, taxes, yes, so etc., etc. And we made a net asset value model for the undeveloped resources. And the sum of the parts basically summated all these results, two results.
Okay, thank you. So what was the total proportion of the undeveloped assets and the projects in development, as I understand? So what was the proportion?
I think 50-50. So maybe 40-60. Yeah.
Okay. The second question I had was regarding the cost synergies that you show on one of the slides. So you're saying that, maybe I agree with the part about the SG&A costs, that you can have one headquarters where you can have synergies in terms of the total size of the management team. But what about the staff costs? Because as I understand it, the company is moving into, the buyer is moving into a new region where it's now not present. So this brings several new risks. You have to operate in a new country where you don't have all the connections that you have in the home region. So could you elaborate a little bit more on the calculation of the so-called here monopoly synergies, and what was the effect of those on the total reduction in OPEX costs? Because once again, it's a new region, you have to set up a new team. You can't really share the teams between US and Brazil, right?
Yes, thank you for your question. As we said before, maybe my colleagues don't say, nevertheless, Sigma is situated on Brazil, is managed by offices in Canada, and as we see in the technical report, sites, yes, they have many workers, many managers who speak in English. And Albemarle also is a United States company, and we don't see so many risks in staff problems. And I think that as both of these companies work in the same market, synergies of staff cutting will really affect it to our target company, and it's reasonable for us to point this staff cutting synergies as one of the key for our target and buyers.
Okay, thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you.
Guys, maybe just one question from my side. I understand there's not so much time left, but try to focus on the key question. As I understand, you're going to present to the management of Albemarle this opportunity to acquire Sigma Lithium. So if I am the manager, top manager of Albemarle, I would ask you the following question maybe. So why precisely you would ask me to focus on Sigma Lithium, not other opportunities around the world? And why didn't you provide me with comparative analysis of other opportunities? For example, as far as I know, Albemarle is more focused on opportunities in brines rather than in hard rocks. So, and they're very much presented in Chile and other countries of Latin America who actually focused on brines resources. So can you just, in a few words, just specify the selection of this particular asset?
The selection was based on the fact that we're on Sigma Lithium sell side. So I believe that it would be strange if we work with Sigma Lithium and for Albemarle we present some other company or make an analysis with comparables.
I would disagree. I would disagree because you present your case to somebody who would like to buy. So definitely he would ask you questions. Why you? Why not other potential opportunities? What is the advantage of Sigma vis-a-vis other opportunities? Definitely, this is the obvious question.
Can I add?
From this part, I agree. Okay. Abror, you wanted to say?
Yeah. I just want to add that if we take not companies but the governments, yes, as we know, lithium really has affected around the world. Brazil, beside of another countries like Chile, like China, like Australia, in the last years and in future, as we read in some reports and brokers' reports, like to support like to support the lithium market in Brazil, and I think that it's a great opportunity to buyers, potential buyers like Albemarle, to take this and be ready to cooperate with this time with companies like Sigma Lithium, and I think that it's one of main points. No, one, yes, that is give benefits to Albemarle company.
Okay. So from hard rocks, I would recommend you consider Australia mainly. Yes, definitely with China, it would be the problems for Albemarle to consider any opportunities. With Africa, I would agree there are a lot of green fields rather than brown fields. So that's not so many things to consider. So, but definitely there are a lot of opportunities besides Brazil to consider. So, and going forward, I would suggest you to run such an analysis because it would be very much helpful for the potential buyer to see the obvious advantages here. So that's it actually from my side. Thank you, guys. Anyway, it was very good presentation.
Thank you. Thank you for
Guys, thank you. I guess that's all for now. Yeah, thanks a lot for your brilliant presentation. Yeah, and next team, please prepare the stalls.
May we start?
Yeah.
Yes, so good afternoon, esteemed management team. Today, I'm excited to present a promising M&A deal which could lead to a new phase in the business expansion of BYD. My name is Mark, and along with my colleagues Ekaterina and Ivan, we form Team Emerald, a highly experienced and fully dedicated team to support this important assignment. Turning to the executive summary, our proposal focuses on Sigma Lithium, a leader in lithium market known for its cost efficiency and ecological pure product. Our analysis supports BYD's strategic acquisition of Sigma to secure vital lithium supplies and reinforce its market presence, particularly in a region favorable to Chinese investments. We anticipate potential synergies of almost $200 million, enhancing BYD's competitive edge. The valuation range we propose for the target is between $2.1 to $2.9 billion, offering a substantial premium that reflects both its market and strategic value. This deal is structured with 95% debt financing, optimizing the financial impact of BYD. Okay, let's move to market overview. So lithium stands as the forefront of electric vehicle revolution and the transition to the green energy. Most of the lithium consumption is driven by the battery industry, with electric transport as a helm. Looking ahead, we see an exponential increase in the demand for lithium. This trend is linked to the global shift towards new energy vehicles, underscoring the strategic significance of lithium supply. It is also notable that BYD is among the world's largest EV producers. This positions BYD to take full advantage of the growing lithium market, making the case for Sigma's integration into supply chain even more compelling. As we look towards the future, it's evident that radical shift is anticipated in the lithium market. 4 countries dominate in the global lithium output. High concentration in production capacity highlights the strategic importance of securing relationship within these regions. Yet, despite robust production, there is an impending mismatch on the horizon. Forecasts point to a substantial gap between supply and demand. This gap signals potential market tightness and underscores the importance of forward-looking investments in lithium. Lithium prices have seen fluctuations, and we project a stabilization and subsequent rise from 2025 onwards as the market adjusts and surplus narrows. And by navigating the competitive landscape, Sigma Lithium stands out as a formidable player. Sigma, with a low operation costs on the hard rock deposits, gives the effect of economy of scale. And the largest resource-based projects are projected to remain profitable even if the lithium prices were to decline, thanks to their low position on the global cost curve. And now I give the floor to Katerina to present your Sigma Lithium's profile.
Thank you, Mark. Sigma Lithium is a mining company focused on the production of lithium concentrate, a key ingredient in rechargeable batteries. The major project of Sigma is the Grota do Cirila. Grota do Cirila is among the largest and highest grade hard rock lithium deposits in the world, with excellent metallurgy and extremely low impurities. Sigma Lithium is expected to be a top 5 lithium producers globally. ESG drives all business decisions, including choosing partners for contracts. For instance, Sigma Lithium has an offtake agreement with LG Energy and Glencore. In addition to this, Sigma uses non-hazardous DMS technology, reducing the environmental impact of the tailings. Speaking about the financial profile, the company already has incurred capital expenditures for the first stages and has constructed green tech plant. What's more, in the third quarter 2023, Sigma Lithium has already shown its first revenue due to the production of green lithium. Let's move on to the valuation.
Thank you, Katya. So our team used a few approaches to evaluate our target. In the DCF, production volume was taken as in the company's mining schedule, and costs were calculated as indexed unit costs. The result of the DCF valuation is enterprise value equal almost $2.5 billion. And we show the sensitivity of this value through changes in the market indicators, lithium prices, and weighted average cost of capital. So in the comparable valuation, we used forward multiples, as many companies haven't realized their production potential yet. Unfortunately, due to the lack of publicly traded peer companies at early stage of spodumene production, we have to reject the trading comparable method and do not take into account in the valuation. Continuing with preceding transaction approach, it accounts deals starting from 2018. We derived them into asset-based and company-based deals. Unfortunately, the absolute value of multiples is rather high nowadays because at the time of the deals, the lithium price was 4 times higher as it is now. So in conclusion of the valuation, our valuation analysis positions Sigma Lithium's enterprise value between 2.1 to 2.9 American dollars, well, billions of American dollars. The proposed valuation represents a significant premium over the last closing price, which we believe is justified by the industry outlook. Market indicators suggest that now is the right time to make an investment decision, securing not only resource base, but also competitive advantage in the global lithium market. So let's continue with the discussion of criteria for selecting potential player. So Katya.
Thank you, Mark. We conducted industry analysis by screening potential buyers within all streams and identified that BYD is the most advantageous buyer due to its own battery production, the lack of recent investments in other large lithium deposits, as well as readiness for M&A. Now I give floor to Vanya, who will cover the deal rationale part.
We determine key investment highlights of acquisition, supply chain securing geographical advantage and synergies upside potential. Lithium mining assets will allow to secure full control among world supply chain and bring a range of benefits in all steps of production process, such as material shortages, risk reduction, volume and quality control, which will provide BYD with maximum growth opportunity. Let's move to geographical advantage. The acquisition of Sigma Lithium is one of the steps to further expand the BYD business and market share of EV and LFP batteries both in the overseas region and domestic market. In addition, access to Atlantic ports, the entry of Brazil and China into the BRICS, and lower lithium export requirements create a friendly jurisdiction, which reduces the risks of regulatory restrictions and allows BYD to export products on other continents. As for the quantitative synergies, we determine 55% OPEX reduction due to management, advisory, advertising, and maintenance cost cut. Total NPV of the synergies is equal to $194 million. As for the non-quantitative synergies, BYD may launch a campaign based on full environmental friendly production cycle, which perfectly fits with the main agenda of electric vehicles, potentially resulting into sales boost and revenue gains. Through acquisition of Sigma Lithium, BYD will also secure a stable and long-term supply of lithium, thereby ensuring a more predictable cost structure and reducing the impact of market fluctuation in lithium prices. Moving on, deal analysis. Proposed transaction structure will contain SPE. This will allow the transaction process to run more smoothly, as it will be possible to minimize the risks associated with the differences between Canadian and Chinese law and avoids direct involvement with Brazilian mining regulations for the acquirer. Total price consideration of $2.6 billion includes OPEX synergies, upside potential over fundamental DCF valuation. The transaction will be mostly financed by debt. This will allow BYD to achieve a more efficient capital structure up to 0.89 net debt EBITDA multiplier. Remaining 5% will be covered by shares issuance. The transaction is beneficial for BYD shareholders as there is earnings per share accretion after the deal. Thus, in 2024, it is expected to be 15% EPS accretion. According to the deal schedule, if BYD starts the transaction process now, we will fully complete it and sign final documents on 23rd of September 2024. That's all. Thank you for your attention. We are ready to answer your questions.
Okay, thank you guys and ladies for this wonderful presentation. Maybe a couple of questions from my side. The first one, as I understand, in the past there was a shortage in lithium, so different car makers tried to secure the supply of lithium. But anyway, I think that such kind of vertical integration is not common for the car producers. I mean that probably, I don't know something, but I think it's not common practice for companies like, I don't know, Ford or Tesla to buy, for instance, steel producers or oil producing companies. So the first question is just for you to to think about. Is it the case for lithium for such a vertical integration, and do you think that the BID will be capable to manage such company, because again, their core business is making of cars, not commodities. So can you please try to comment on this?
Thank you for your question. Actually, the companies that you listed already have assets, lithium assets. Tesla, General Motors, and other big EV producers already have such lithium plants. Yeah. It is the evidence that such integration is very important, and we actually think that for BYD it will be very beneficial.
Okay, thank you. And probably another question, I just want to find out a couple of details about your DCF. So what was the time horizon for the forecast in your DCF model?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think I will comment on this topic. So as Sigma already, as the management of Sigma already knows the resource base for free deposits, there are already scoping and the pre-feasibility study have managed on these deposits. We accounted only 3 phases, which indicated which are concerning only on these deposits. So we projected DCF for 2034 until 2034 at the end of the execution on these deposits. So basically, we took a life of mine, and yeah.
Okay. So it's I think it's rather conservative. So you don't consider that you will convert some resources to reserves, and so it's quite conservative approach. Yeah.
Well, yeah. We use conservative approach because also Sigma has has 2 deposits more, and while they're telling to the outsiders that there are much resources, but there were no scoping studies, there were no any advanced exploration, so we can't really estimate much here.
Okay, thank you. That's all for me.
Guys, thank you very much. I have also several questions on your presentation. I like the idea of vertical integration in order to secure supply of raw materials, but have you analyzed from the perspective of the purchaser the difference between purchasing a company, a lithium deposit, and another option is just to enter an off-take or take-or-pay contract, because as Alexey said, it's a different business from the current BYD's business. And why do you think that the purchaser should be interested more in purchasing a deposit rather than other options like take-or-pays or off-takes? And the second question, I will just say it, you can answer it later. You have a significant range of valuations using DCF and multiples, and you say that you do not use precedent transactions and trading comparable approach because of its irrelevance, but actually these approaches give us higher valuations if we are talking about trading multiples. And if we take so public comparables, on this slide we can see that the range is very wide, from 1 billion to 9 billion. So could you please explain why did you get these figures? So it looks like a little bit contradictory, because DCF, from my point of view, should be in many cases higher than trading comparables, but you have just implied multiple like 2 or 2.5, and it looks like very conservative. So you can start from the first question about the different options. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Artyom, for your question. It's really important. So, okay, let's move with the first question. You asked about our consideration on buying asset or a company. So our logics was that well, BYD is EV producer, and they do not have this expertise in the industry, in the mining industry, while Sigma Lithium is a company that has well, their management has the industry expertise. They're working on these deposits for more than 10 years, and of course, it is better to well give to give the execution of all the process to the prior management. And also we have analyzing the transactions, the preceding transactions, and we mentioned that well, we found out that company-based deal types had less EV reserves multiple. So well, the transaction would be cheaper. Well, if we can see, if we can put it in these terms. So yeah, the idea is like this. And the second question, if I'm not mistaken, was about why do we account only DCF and not take
excuse me, Mark, can you just come back to the first question? Yeah. I meant what is the logic for BYD to purchase the company or an asset? It doesn't mean it doesn't matter, but why it's better to purchase a company than, for example, to enter an offtake contract with Sigma Lithium so that you can secure your supply of raw materials? Because I'm not sure if BYD will be self-sufficient in raw materials after this potential deal. So what would be the share of raw material demand that will be supplied from Sigma Lithium to BYD, and why? So the main question is why it's better to purchase a company rather than entering an off-take contract. So I want to hear your thoughts on this issue.
Yeah, so we think that full integration into the whole industry chain of lithium compounds would be better, because BYD already established a factory that produces cathodes and electrolytes for the power cells and these battery packs. And this factory would situate in the nearest state in Brazil. So this would cut a lot of SG&A, or a lot of transportation costs. So yeah, we think that.
And we also can move to deal rationale slide, and we propose the main advantages. So about supply chain securing, geographical advantage, and synergy upside potential.
Yeah, and also we think that this will give, one of the BRD's idea that they want to expand for the global market and becoming as a Brazil producer. This will help to advertise more on the domestic for Brazil market, the South American market, and it's maybe more than more advertising topic.
Yeah, and also I want to add that BYD now is like currently focusing only on their own Chinese market. So yes, their overseas share is quite small for such company. So they need to expand their geographical growth.
Okay, thank you very much. The second question was why your DCF valuation is lower than present transactions and public trading multiples. So are there specific reasons why it is the case for Sigma Lithium to have EV/EBITDA, implied EV/EBITDA like 2 or 2.5%? Could you please explain the reason for this mathematical reason for this situation?
Yes, thank you one more time. So I will start with precedent transaction analysis. So here is the idea that we hadn't really much really similar transactions. So and most of them were closed in the period where when lithium prices was really high, and it was like $80 for a kilogram. And we think that this is why it is not really relevant to use this method. And talking about precedent transaction, or talking about comparative analysis and trading comparable valuation. Sigma only started the the process of production. By the beginning of the second half of 2023, we have the first revenue, and well, this is why EV/EBITDA multiple wouldn't be so precise as we think, and the same idea with other with production multiple, because well, it is only start of production process. So, so Sigma basically was a greenfield project before the
thanks. I like the point on high lithium prices a few years ago when these transactions took place. It's a good point, but still unclear to me. If you go to the previous slide, we can see that if you apply market multiple to EBITDA of 2026, you get EV like 8 billion. If you apply multiple EV production to the projected production, you will also get something like $8 billion, but UDTF gives only 2 or 3 billion. So it is still unclear to me, but it's fine. I think we can hear other questions, and if we have time, go back to this. But thank you.
Yeah, guys. So thank you for the presentation. Actually, I had the same question that Artem asked. So that's all right. Maybe just two comments from my side. The first one on the slide for deal rationale, you specify non-quantitative synergies, and then you mention the revenue synergies. In my opinion, that's the definition of quantitative synergy, right?
Yeah.
The revenue synergy and the yeah, I think maybe that's a typo. And the second comment, second comment was maybe if you answered the question that Artem asked, that or Alexei asked about the car automakers making transactions in the lithium sector. Maybe you could make a few slides on the case studies, right, with the comparable companies moving into the lithium market and acquiring some deposits, and that way that would be, you know, a more proven thesis. But overall, great presentation. No questions from my side.
So can we ask about revenue synergy? Oh, can we answer about revenue synergy? We specify it like non-quantitative because we cannot justify the number that will create by this synergy. We assume that potentially we have that synergy, but we cannot justify it, so we cannot apply it to our valuation. So it is
got it.
Guys, the last questions from my side. So actually, it's not question. I would like to praise you because your presentation is very much close to the real practice, working with selection of the potential targets, what we do actually at Uranium One. And what I like about your presentation, actually the last slide about the time frame of the, yes, exactly this slide of the deal process, which actually explains to the potential buyer how long it would take to close the deal, which is usually very much important by discussions with your potential partners. And second question, it's actually raised by Artem regarding offtake versus acquisition. I would just probably help you. So because from my experience, this is exactly the point here. So there is a lack of offtake contracts for lithium products currently on the market. And many potential competitors are trying to secure the share. And the only option to secure the share is actually to acquire the shareholding control over the entity which produces this lithium product. So therefore, if you would like to definitely have an offtake contract, you probably have to buy a control over the company. So this is a very important point, and I'm actually glad that you force us to discuss this during your presentation. So overall, I have no questions, just would like to praise you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys,
So-
thank you. I think no other questions. Thanks again for your presentation. And
Thank you.
next team, please, get prepared. EMS status since you're ready.
Could you please tell us, is everything okay with streaming? Do you see the screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. Guys, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Our greetings, dear members of the jury. It is Aquamarine team, and we are ready to deliver our report. Members of the team, Sharif, Ivan, Irina, Artem, and Kirill. We have sent you the report earlier, and we hope you have read the disclaimer. Would like to begin with a brief overview. Sigma Lithium management and board of directors are considering various alternatives for the development of their current portfolio company related to a possible sale of the business or any other strategic opportunities. Sigma Lithium itself is a commercial producer of high purity lithium concentrate. Its assets are located in Brazil, and Sigma Lithium operations are vertically integrated, and its green tech plant is designed to process 5.5 to 6% battery grade high purity lithium concentrate. We have performed many different approaches and methods in order to estimate company's value. Implied equity value based on net asset value and trading multiple methods is 4.1 and $3.1 billion respectively. But different types of investors should pay different prices. For strategic investor BYD, it is 3.6, and for financial investors, it is 3.4. Shortly about deal rationale, Sigma could possibly obtain additional financing for the efficient development of the current fields, expansion to Asian markets, and cost savings. BYD creates a full production cycle, mitigates risks associated with the possible crisis in lithium market, and cost savings as well. So recommended offer price from BYD should be at least $3.6 billion for 100% stake of the company. And for financial investors, we recommend to consider bids no less than $3.4 billion for 100% stake of the company.
Now let's start with the overview of the lithium market. The largest share of market volume consumed by the battery industry. The leader in the production of lithium batteries is China, while the most part of the lithium resources are located in Latin America. Lithium prices strongly depend on the demand for electric vehicles and rather volatile with this regard. So after significant growth in 2022, there was a sharp drop in 2023 in lithium prices. Currently, there are several scenarios for price growth, but no more than $27 per ton by the end of 2027 in the optimistic case. Move on to the review of the lithium battery and electric vehicles market. By 2030, a significant increase in the consumption of lithium products is expected, as well as an increase in the share of lithium batteries. As you see, the main producers of lithium batteries are companies from China, so the main growth in demand for lithium batteries and the largest potential revenue by 2030 is also expected in China.
Sigma Lithium Corporation is one of the world's biggest lithium projects located in Brazil. The company was founded in 2012
In the 18th and 21st years, it was listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange and Nasdaq. The majority of the company's capital belongs to private equity fund A10 and institutions. The company's production chain is as follows. First, Sigma Lithium extracts lithium from an open field, then using ultrafine cake technology produces lithium and eventually receives high-purity lithium concentrate. One of the key advantages of the company is its proximity to the Atlantic port. Sigma Lithium has extensive lithium reserves, proven and probable, and the company pays great attention to sustainable development goals and follows the green mining strategy.
To evaluate fundamental share price of the company, we use net asset value model. Some key assumptions: P&P reserves are 1.94 MT lithium carbonate equivalent, forecast period 2024-2035, and WACC is 17.4%. Also, you can find production, sales volume, and key financial projections on the slide. Financial model is sensitive to lithium price, and the implied share price in base scenario is $38.7, which is 23% greater than Sigma Lithium share close price as of December 29, 2023. It is a detailed WACC calculation. It can vary from 15 to 19%, depending on risk-free rate and levered beta changes.
After analyzing public peers, average EV revenue multiple is 2.5x and EV/EBITDA is 7x. The main rationale of comparable transactions is access to the resource base with a median premium paid of 16.1%.
In order to understand what could possibly pay financial investors for the asset, we have built LBO model. There's some inputs on the slide which you can read more about later. Main conclusion: implied share price in base scenario for financial investors is $31.5, which is equal to company's share price as of December 29, 2023. IRR varies from 22 to 29% as to value of entry multiple.
Also, we have analyzed all possible options for the structure of the transaction and concluded that selling to a strategic investor would be the most profitable option. In addition, by analyzing key indicators, we determined that China is an ideal location to find a buyer, and BYD is a significant player in the market.
By acquiring Sigma Lithium, BYD will cover all stages of the battery supply chain, almost entirely covering production for their own needs, taking into account new production plant in the neighboring Brazil state. Key synergies are cost of goods sold, distribution, sales, and SG&A costs. Present value of synergies is twice as high as the premium paid, $489 million compared to $244 million.
If we take a closer look at the costs of goods sold and distribution, we can identify some key synergy factors. Firstly, it's worth noting that convenient location of BYD plants, which is located 780 kilometers away from lithium deposits. This will help to reduce transportation costs and freight expenses. Additionally, in this transaction, there will be savings on transportation of goods to China, the United States, and Europe. And finally, Sigma Lithium will be able to utilize its full production capacity thanks to BYD's high production capabilities.
SG&A expenses will also decrease. Sales expenses will decrease due to the lack of need to sell lithium due to its use in manufacturing and lack of need for marketing to transfer lithium to external companies. G&A expenses will decrease due to removing redundant functions and optimization of administrative resources usage. The total PV of post-tax synergies is $114 million.
Some details about the acquisition. Offer premium is 7.2% and offer share price is $33.8. Present value of synergies is $0.5 billion and synergy effect is estimated to comprise 40% of the equity value offer price. Acquisition is accretive for BYD because it increases its EPS and total deal goodwill amounts $3.4 billion. On the football field, you can see that the range between the min and max is quite similar according almost to all methods. Weighted average Sigma Lithium share price based on net asset value in trading comps is slightly higher than the market share price, which definitely indicates that the company is undervalued. The overall range varies from $2 to $5 billion for 100% stake of the company. Lithium producers' share prices are too sensitive to lithium price, and the current decline in lithium prices can be primarily attributed to the slowing growth of electric vehicles sales in China. And it is essential to recognize that lithium stock prices have been volatile in the short term due to various factors. Firstly, lithium is a specialized commodity produced in limited quantities, making supply disruptions a significant factor in price fluctuations. The lithium market is also influenced by geopolitical conditions and regulations, which can alter demand dynamics. And although China has historically dominated lithium supply from Australia, and the rise of Western converters is expected to redirect more Australian supply to Europe and North America. Despite the short-term volatility, the long-term forecast for lithium remains positive according to consensus of different huge banks and agencies. So final recommendation, acquisition by strategic investor BYD is a priority option for shareholders of Sigma, and recommended offer price is at least $3.6 billion for 100% stake of the company. Thank you for your attention. It would be definitely enjoyment to answer to your questions.
Guys, may I ask you one question, being first this time? So you recommend to wait bids from BYD at no less than 3.6.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what is the current market cap of Sigma?
Yeah, we understand that fact, but here.
What is the figure? Do you know the figure?
One more time, please.
Do you know the figure? What is the current market cap of Sigma Lithium?
Definitely, it's around almost 2 billion, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
much less.
1.5, 1.6.
Exactly. So the question is pretty simple. How long do you think guys from Sigma Lithium will wait until they get this proposal from BYD?
It is probably, as I said before, the stock prices of lithium producers are sensitive to lithium price. And here we can see the lithium carbonate equivalent prices in short term, middle term, and long term years. And as we see, starting from the next year, the prices are going to balance as they.
So you actually work on the sell side of Sigma, yes?
Yeah,
they hired you to show them the opportunities, how to sell 100%. And you tell them, okay, guys, you have to wait for 3.6 during maybe several years. Yeah. And so far, so what you suggest to do them?
No, we do believe that these prices, which we can see on the market now, do not consider the fact that the prices could balance. And if Sigma or if BYD pays a little bit of a premium for the share price as of December 29, 2023, they will have a very, I would say, good asset. Even for financial investors, it is totally okay to buy the asset for the share price as it was on December 29, 2023.
Yeah, but then the question is very simple, another one. So we are not in December 2023. We are at the end of April 2024. Why we are discussing with you today the situation on the market as of December 2023? I don't understand the point.
Because that's like part of our case task.
No, we saw different other presentations from your colleagues. They present the current market situation with the assets, not the situation of the several months before today. So look, it looks a little bit strange to me. Okay, guys, it was just my comment. Overall, the material is done in a very good way. But the key point here is that it's completely outdated. Yeah. If you would do everything like this, but use the current market situation, the impressions would be much better. So overall, thanks from my side.
Guys, thank you. May I ask one question? For the deal structure, why did you decide, why do you propose to pay by cash, not by debt or by equity? Maybe this answer could help you to deal with the previous question, because you propose a price 2 times higher, more than 2 times higher than the current market cap. Maybe there is some strategies that we can bridge the gap between your proposal and the current market cap.
Answering to your first question, why they use all-in cash transaction, is because they have BYD has got a huge amount of cash on balance sheet, and they are still growing, and they have very high capexes, around 50% of the revenue, and anyway, there is a need for debt injection for other projects, and that is why they could use their cash that they have on balance sheet for now.
If I'm not mistaken, they have $15 billion now.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you propose, for example, a share deal, how could this affect the purchase price? Because BYD, it's not obvious that they can accept this price, like 4 billion or 3.6 as you propose. But maybe if you propose an equity deal, what could be the alternative structure? For example, could you share your thoughts, maybe just from scratch now?
First of all, I think that there is no need to buy Sigma Lithium in cash and shares transaction, because all the lithium that Sigma Lithium produces and has will be totally used in BYD batteries production. For some reasons, because BYD has already have an agreement with the Brazilian investors in order to build their manufacturing batteries factory, and the second plan is to build electric vehicles factory as well. It is some plans with the Brazilian government. That is why they are actively building a lot of energy stations in Brazil, because they fully focused on Latin America market, and they could definitely easily go into the listing of Sigma Lithium as well.
So you mean they have some Sigma Lithium has some binding agreements with the Brazilian government, and they need cash to finance this project, right?
No. BYD has a huge amount of cash. They have agreements with the Brazilian government. They are fully focused on Latin America market. They will have a full production cycle of electric vehicles in Brazil.
Yeah, but that means that BYD needs cash to build new projects. So it's obvious that they have cash on the balance sheet, but this cash is needed to finance other acquisitions of projects in Brazil. So
definitely, that is why we have mentioned about their capexes and debt injection, which is like which will be used for these kind of projects. That is why, because they actively they issuing a lot of debt already, just because they don't have cash to cover other projects they have now. That's totally fine question. I totally agree that they could use that here as well, but we just assume that that they issuing is used in other projects, and they can use their cash for this Sigma Lithium acquisition.
Mm-hmm. May I help Sharif a bit? They have specified debt lines which they are using only for Brazil projects, so they cannot use them for any acquisitions. As far as our research was through their IR materials. Well, and they have some big amount of cash on their balance, which they can use and they are able to use. And in terms of current prime rate of in China, around 2%, as far as I'm concerned. We thought that it might be better and more efficient to use cash than all stock or maybe part stock deal.
Okay, and if we model the situation in the following way, for example, BYD rejects your offer and proposes a deal that is 2 times the price is 2 times lower and equals a small premium, for example, to current market cap, and BYD proposes to pay fully with its own equity, its own shares. How would you persuade Sigma Lithium's shareholders to accept this deal? Or maybe you wouldn't recommend the shareholders of Sigma Lithium to accept this deal?
There is like I would say a point which because of what current shareholders of Sigma would reject this offer, because they are funds and institutions. They have no interest, I would say, in keeping the asset. That's why they want to exit the asset, and they would like to have on hand the all in cash transaction.
Yeah, but they will end up owning shares of BYD, so maybe it's better to have BYD shares rather than still own Sigma Lithium shares that they didn't manage to sell?
Fair enough. Yeah, that could be. I think it is also acceptable offer because BYD has huge potential to grow. Yeah, it is acceptable offer as well.
Okay, and so what would you recommend to the shareholders as a consultant, as a sell-side consultant?
I would definitely go with all in cash transaction because it is our analysis for now, and we need some more time in order to make analysis in all stock transaction. Then after that, we would go with some explanation or some advices to Sigma Lithium board of directors.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the questions.
No questions from my side.
Guys, thank you for your presentation. Overall, it looks good. I mean, in terms of format, graphs, and so on. Very professional. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have just one question from my side. Actually, as I understand, your valuation implies a huge premium to the current market cap of the company.
Yes.
So can you please comment on this, and how can you describe the factors or drivers in your valuation model which make actually the valuation much higher than the current market price? Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I would like to make a remark that seems a lot of huge amount of premium paid to the current market share price. But our analysis was done as the end of 2023. The main driver for Sigma Lithium is first of all its production. It is not a greenfield or something else. It already produces, and its production is going to grow and grow, and that's why they will sell. They will be definitely like they will have definitely 8 to 10% of the market share. The second one is prices. Here in the below to the left to the right, you can see the prices of lithium. The current decline is mostly related to problems that China has, but overall the prices could definitely go up according to many different banks and agencies such as Goldman Sachs, Bloomberg, so on. And I would say these are two drivers: our production and the growth of lithium price.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so maybe just one last question from my side regarding the multiples on precedent transactions. So on your slide, you just show like in contrast to the other teams, you just show like a couple of examples. I think 5 or 6 deals.
Yes.
No, I meant the precedent transaction.
So
yeah. So what was the time period that you chose for these deals? Because it's not clear from the slide. And did you factor in the fact that multiples for transactions in 2021, 2022 were completed? The deals were completed in a time period of higher lithium prices.
Yes, definitely. We we were also watching the previous team report, and if I'm not mistaken, they were taking into account deals where the size of the transaction is $36 million, and that is totally irrelevant for the Sigma. The transaction, the period which was convenient for us was around 3 to 5 years, and we have chosen deals from, if I'm not mistaken, from I'll go into appendixes there. Sorry.
You mean the source of information or what?
Okay, we had deals with the normal deal size, and we were looking into transactions just in order to understand what premium was paid by previous strategic investors in order to understand, is it in line or not in line, the premium offer which we want to the BYD to pay for Sigma Lithium.
Sorry, maybe you did not get my question. My question was not regarding deal size. It was regarding the these deals. Did you find have taken place before the lithium prices plummeted, before they went down drastically?
Yeah, we excluded prices which we excluded deals which were too dependent on current market conditions, and we excluded deals that were irrelevant due to their size, for example, due to their company specific. There are some not relevant companies which could be used from if you try to search for peers through KPIQ, for example. Well, and that's why we have only 5. I think the whole list was like 7 transactions. There is a slide in appendixes. So if you can try to search for it now. But anyway, yeah, we've spent maybe some days trying to exclude irrelevant stuff.
Okay, thank you. Because you don't show the dates of the deals on the slide. That's why it's hard to understand. Did you factor that in or not? Thank you.
Yeah, we had the slides in appendixes. Yeah, maybe it's our fault that we didn't kind of show them all. But we thought that it might be more relevant if we will describe the transaction.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's all. No other questions from other jurors. Thank you a lot, team.
Thank you very much.
Next, the 4th team, please prepare and start as soon as you're ready.
So can I start?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, good afternoon. Our team is Alexandrite, and we want to introduce our decision. Our target is Sigma Lithium, and it is acquired by Australian lithium miner Pilbara Minerals. Next.
Now let's proceed with the company overview. Sigma Lithium appears to be a major player in the lithium production sector, ranking as the 4th largest hard rock lithium production company. With operations in Brazil, it has significant proven and indicated resources. The company has ambitious production targets, aiming to produce 766 kilotons per year subsequently. Sigma Lithium has outlined a phased production plan with 4 stages, expanding to more than 1,000 kilotons by the 4th phase. This strategic approach suggests a strong growth strategy for the company. It is committed to strong ESG practices and is aiming to be net zero emissions by 2024. Its green-friendly processing plant will use 100% renewable energy and recycled water. The company's shareholder structure includes a mix of different types of investors. The largest share is held by the free float. The stock performance chart shows great volatility that is directly connected with the lithium price level.
The main drivers of the market is the production of electric vehicles. The structure of lithium consumption has changed, and in 5 years, the share of lithium consumption for the production of batteries for electric vehicles has increased by 23 to 87%. The main buyer of lithium for battery production is China, with share of 56%. After the abolition of subsidies for electric car manufacturers in China, lithium prices fell to $20,000 per metric ton. Thus, the market creates a discount on the assets, subject to future deficits, which creates excellent conditions for the purchase of the company.
Now comes the valuation part of our speech. We use 3 most common business valuation methods. To start with, we looked at several cases in our DCF model, which all differed by the volume of LSE mined. In the most conservative scenario, where only proven reserves are mined, valuation stands at $2.6 billion. In the most optimistic scenario, where all reserves and resources are mined, valuation equals $6.9 billion. Sigma Lithium becomes one of the top hard rock lithium producers. Target annual production is said to be one of the biggest in the industry, and research lithium's grade is high compared to industrial standards.
Comparable companies and precedent transactions methods produce a wide range of valuations because of the individuality of each mine, so both of them have to be taken into account with a high degree of skepticism. To present companies and deals in the most appropriate way, we have looked only at hard rock lithium producers and transfer of majority stakes.
The suggested valuation stands at $2.6 billion, which is a conservative DCF scenario. While brokers' consensus on potential upside lies in 90 to 104% range, the proposed valuation offers only 82% of an upside, indicating an attractive deal for the buyer priced below market expectations.
Okay, now we switch to acquire. First of all, a couple words about the acquire. Our buyer is Pilbara Minerals. Its main operating assets are second largest lithium mine in Australia, Pilgangoora, and 2 spodumene factories, Pilgan and Ganju. All the assets are located in Australia. Company plans to expand production to the level of 87 KT LCE by 2025 and has fluctuated share dynamics. Pilbara had dramatic 2023 revenue and EBITDA margin growth, and it is actually linked with production and spodumene prices boost in history. Structure of ownership mainly represented by investment companies and investment banks. Well, this slide is about deal rationale summary. Actually, the pie chart represents 5 points of strategy of the buyer, Pilbara Minerals. Crucial point for Pilbara are leadership, creating value for shareholders, diversification, cost decrease, and ESG commitment. Sigma Lithium deal will allow Pilbara Minerals to cover all the 5 points, and on the next 5 slides, we will consider why. First of all, leadership. Before the deal, by 2025, both Sigma and Pilbara will be number 6 and number 7 by annual production, respectively. Nevertheless, after the deal, the consolidated company will be number 3 among top world lithium miners. If you talk about reserves, right side of the slide, the consolidated company will increase them to the level of 11.2 million LCE. Second point of buyer strategy is creating value for shareholders. As it is evident from the first chart, Sigma Lithium is strongly underestimated compared to top players. Sigma investor pays for 1 ton LCE reserves rather less than, for example, Albemarle or Alchem and Levent investor. Moreover, Sigma will outperform much companies by EBITDA margin. Furthermore, Sigma has a high quality of its mine, Grota do Cirilo. It will be active for 19 years, has great lithium concentration, include ore with low impurities, had lower production cost and great jurisdiction. Third point of buyer strategy is geographic expansion and diversification. Before the deal, Pilbara and Sigma both delivered to 3 destinations, China, USA, and Europe. But after the deal, Pilbara will concentrate on China and Sigma will concentrate only on the US. Thus, both Pilbara and Sigma will deliver to the nearest destination. It will allow us to decrease shipping costs and save diversification simultaneously. First point of buying strategy is cost decrease. Firstly, we will consider consolidated company cost optimization. Secondly, synergies. Optimization linked with production costs, number one, and labor cost, number two. Pilbara Minerals will have lower production cost than Sigma Lithium ones, and it will allow to decrease average production costs for the consolidated company. And the same situation with labor costs. Average labor cost of the consolidated company will be lower. Now we will consider synergies. Total present value of synergies is $450 million. After the deal, there will be actually 3 synergies. The very first one is synergy of shipping cost. As we said before on the previous slide, each company will concentrate only on the one destination, and it will decrease transportation distance for each company and decrease costs. Second synergy is debt push down. Profit tax is as it is evident from the second pie chart. Profit tax is number one cost for Sigma Lithium, so we decided to decrease it. Firstly, Pilbara, it is buyer, attract M&A debt to its balance sheet and then do a debt push down scheme to target balance sheet Sigma. So synergy is actually an unpaid tax of target, which will serve the M&A, or we can say LBO debt. Third synergy is cost of debt lessen. Simply put, a consolidated company become bigger, what will allow to attract cheaper debt. Next. Yes, last point of Pilbara strategy is ESG. Both companies have strong ESG commitment and 100% ESG strategy match. Moreover, synergy is a good sign for. Moreover, ESG is a good sign for the investors, especially in Australia, such developed countries like Australia. And now we switch to deal analysis. As we know, there are 3 sources of M&A financing: cash, debt issue, and equity issue. We decided not to use equity issue, and there are some reasons on the top of slide. It is loss of control, complexity, profit tax decrease, opportunities, number 3. So we will use only cash and debt for our transaction. Pilbara Minerals itself has great capacity to finance the deal. Total, according to our calculation, total capacity is $13.6 billion, but according to our calculations, enterprise value is $2.6 billion. And we consider this sum as a purchase price of M&A deal. Financing structure will be basic, 80% of debt and 20% of cash. And as we said before, Pilbara will attract M&A debt on its balance sheet, and then do a debt push down scheme. So push down the debt on the balance sheet of target Sigma Lithium. In accordance with our estimations, Sigma has Sigma debt capacity. Calculated Sigma debt capacity allows to serve M&A debt with kind of decent DSCR of 1.2x. And probably that's it. Thanks for attention, and we are ready to answer the questions.
Yeah, maybe the first question will be from my side. So regarding the debt push down, to be honest, I've never seen it listed as a synergy. So could you explain? Could you explain a bit more? How is that a synergy? So if I understood correctly, that's just like you suggest using debt as part of the deal financing. Okay, you will do a debt push down. Okay, this will positively impact the buyer's IRR. Okay, but how is that a synergy?
Well, we can see. Okay, thank you for the question. First of all, let's see on the second pie chart, Sigma Lithium total cost structure. According to our calculations, by 2025, we will obtain the situation in which profit tax is number one cost for Sigma Lithium. So debt push down is kind of synergy here. I see that it is not a standard one, but here we decided to call it synergy because there will be some unpaid tax because we do that push down on the targets, and there will be some unpaid tax which will be which we can mean it can be synergy.
So you're just saying like tax shield,
Yes.
Basic implication of the LBO model and that push down. But that's if your buyer bought just like I don't know Lukoil with that would be the same synergy. Like any other company with a great net profit margin and with less debt than it could use, right? It would be that push down synergy.
Probably that's it. Probably that's it. Yeah, probably that's right. Yes.
Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Guys, thank you. That push down looks like good idea. Anyway, it's very important to be creative in M&A. So great for your attempt. And but what I want to comment is that sometimes I don't know about the regulations in Australia, but in Russia, in many cases, debt push down is prohibited by the law. So it just, I don't want to criticize your idea, but I mean that it should be further investigated whether there could be any problems with regulators in Australia or Canada. So I just have one comment and probably one question. The comment is that I have seen the graph with the grade of lithium. My comment is that that's better to show the average or medium or mediana in such graphs. And the question is, as I have seen, you've mentioned three types of synergies: shipping, debt push down, and
cost of debt lesson.
What is the third one?
Cost of debt lesson.
And do you see any SG&A synergies in this transaction? And why didn't you mention this?
Thanks for the question. It's a good one. We decided we've spent several days thinking about cost of goods sold synergies and SG&A synergies as well. But actually, two assets located in the different parts of the world. And for example, in standard scheme, we say that we can make redundant some stuff of the, for example, that the target or decrease other costs. But right now, Sigma Lithium is greenfield, and they has the team that developed this asset. So as far as we understand, it is not the relevant idea to decrease SG&A, for example. And if you talk about cost of goods sold less in Brazil. And actually, we decided not to do synergies here. We decided to concentrate on other cost synergies.
Okay, thank you. No other questions from me.
Guys, sorry, Andrei. Let me start. Yeah. Guys, thank you for your presentation. It was nice. I have just one general question. So as I understand, you proposed an Australian company to purchase deposit resources in Brazil. So this company, I mean, the potential bidder, has a significant resource base, as we can see in your presentation on slide, I believe 10. So it seems like the company has a lot of potential projects, I believe in Australia. Their current production is less than Sigma Lithium, but given the resource base, they can launch these projects and become a bigger company and maybe one of the leader without acquiring Sigma Lithium in Brazil. So the question is, what is the logic for Pilbara to purchase Brazilian assets? Why do you believe it is better for them to purchase a Brazilian asset rather than focus on the development of the current project? Because you also mentioned on slide with the that capacity that they have capex program, some capex program. So did you analyze these alternative options for the purchaser, and why did you choose Pilbara but not any other producers?
Well, thanks for the question again. To be honest, according to annual report of Pilbara Minerals, they accumulated $3.3 billion of cash on its balance sheet, and if we exclude capex, expected capex, it is 850. We will obtain some $2.5 billion. And according to annual report, they actually don't know how to invest it. It is the very first one. Secondly, Pilbara Minerals is a hard rock lithium miner, and biggest miner of hard rock lithium in the world. So it is purchase of analogical of similar business could mean ability to manage to manage the business of the target properly. Moreover, Sigma Lithium has Pilbara Minerals has strategy, and one of the point of the strategy is become bigger. And as we showed on the slide of the market, demand will be higher. So if they acquire a similar business, it will allow them to expand its abilities from demand perspective. Moreover, Sigma is underestimated company, so its investment have a positive net present value. So it is 100% strategy fit, if we talk about Pilbara Minerals again. And the last thing, synergies we mentioned. So it is they will obtain synergies. For example, shipping synergies, companies located in different parts of the world, and if every company will concentrate only on the one destination, they could realize such synergies, and they will this scheme will allow the consolidated company to diversify, to save the diversification of cash flows of the company. So probably such things.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And maybe at the beginning of your analysis, when you just started on this project, why did you choose to focus on, in terms of potential purchaser, why did you choose to focus on other mining companies rather than companies like BYD, like your colleagues from other teams did? So why did you choose this way?
There's a clear economic answer to this question. Right now, supply of lithium is bigger than the demand, and we project that it will continue like in the short term all the way up to 2040 year, and something like this. So in the short term, the situation won't change because supply is bigger than demand. The price is lower than the market equilibrium, as we know, just plain economic theory. And actually, for example, electronic vehicles producers like BYD, they can get lithium cheap, just buy it from the market, because prices are smaller than the market equilibrium, and they don't need to spend much money to make a vertically integrated enterprise. And actually, yeah, this would be our answer. Just economic.
So do I understand correctly that on this chart you show that there is oversupply of lithium in the long term until 2040?
I wouldn't name it a long term, because for me, long term starts like from like 20 years or something like this. Our projection is just that in the nearest like 10 years, 16 years, as how it's presented here, the situation won't change crucially.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, another point here, can I add something? That if you speak about vertical integration for electric vehicles producers, there is no need to buy lithium producers, because they can just, for example, use offtake contracts in this way, or buy already the producer of batteries, but it's not like a full high vertical integration, considering this question.
Mm-hmm. So your case is that you're, I would summarize, you believe in conservative forecast on demand side. So we can say you are bearish on lithium market, and you are trying to sell lithium producer to another lithium producer with a premium to current market capitalization. So it's the picture that I got from that I get from this particular chat and general from the presentation.
Yes, in at least 15 years, because to project what will become with lithium prices after 15 years is just not possible. It's useless work. So yeah, you're right.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure that my colleagues, especially Andrei, will agree with your market forecast, but never mind, it's your case. And thank you.
Yeah, guys, from my side, from my perspective, as a manager of a company which pretends to run lithium assets going forward, it looks extreme, actually, for an Australian company to buy an asset in Brazil, which is a completely different time zone. I believe it is even unmanageable from the perspective of the top management of Pilbara company. Especially, I don't know if they have any global ambitions. I mean, this particular company, if they would consider how to spend this $2 billion free cash, I would consider some options in Australia, given Australia is the key producer of lithium in the world so far. So there are few big companies there. One of the most very well known is Alchem, and they may consider some opportunity to have partnerships with Alchem on the existing lithium opportunities in Australia. So this is just from my standpoint looks, yes, okay, from the figures that you have presented in a fantastic way, I would admit. So everything looks fine, and I have actually no questions about this. But if we will look into the substance of what you are proposing, I believe it might be considered a little bit crazy from their standpoint. So this is just the comment, but overall, what you have presented and the way how you have presented this opportunity looks actually very professional. Thank you. So that's me. That's it.
Yeah, I guess no other comments or questions from jurors. Thank you for your presentation. now we will have a short break. I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 minutes to give time to the judges to decide who is the winner today. So yeah, we'll have a break for a short period of time. And I'll transfer judges to the separate room.
Друзья, сегодня у нас присутствует HR-бизнес-партнер Эспринг Капитал. Приветствуем Наталью Мирскую. Пока судьи совещаются, дадим ей слово. Наталья, пожалуйста.
Спасибо, Владимир. Коллеги, друзья, приветствую всех. Слушала ваши презентации, очень интересно. Хочу поздравить всех с таким зрелым профессиональным навыком инвестировать такое количество сил, времени в производство таких интересных аналитических продуктов. Действительно, серьезный профессиональный уровень уже достигнут. Спасибо большое IB-клубу за ту прекрасную работу, которую он проделывает, и мы за последний год очень близко познакомились с коллегами. Действительно огромный труд, прежде всего, который они делают по поддержанию, развитию инвестбанковской индустрии, которую мы глубоко любим и которой принадлежим всю жизнь. И очень приятно, что IB-клуб привлекает молодых профессионалов в индустрию. Мы вот в этом году поддерживаем IB-клуб от всей души, как говорится, с нашими уважаемыми коллегами и конкурентами, Advance капиталом тоже, потому что мы действительно видим свою миссию в том, чтобы развивать индустрию, поддерживать молодых профессионалов, которые заинтересованы в ней. Мы растем, развиваемся. В этом году мы делали программу стажировок. У нас вышли стажеры, которые сейчас прекрасно работают. В следующем году будем делать еще одну программу стажировок. Но у нас сейчас открыты вакансии и аналитика, и старшего аналитика, и ассоциата. Но иногда бывают супер талантливые, супер способные младшие аналитики. Вот нам с одним с таким повезло. Вот. Так что мы, в общем, готовы знакомиться с кандидатами. У Владимира есть все наши контакты. Наши контакты есть на сайте. Мне, Алексею, можно смело писать, там, дергать, не стесняться. Мы с удовольствием познакомимся, даже если мы не договоримся, не сойдемся. В этот момент жизнь и карьера, они долгие, многогранные. Значит, встретимся ближе на следующих этапах или как на сделках, может быть, по разные стороны сделки, может быть, по одну, может быть, кто-то будет клиентом, а кто-то консультантом, может быть, станете нашими коллегами. Эти все возможности для нас открыты, и можем начинать с того, что просто познакомимся. Вот так. Сейчас жюри пока что совещается. Вечером будет большая вечеринка, которую мы с удовольствием тоже поддерживаем, потому что наша индустрия, она, как говорится, work hard, play hard. Будет большая тяжелая работа, длинные часы, вот это все, но при этом работа будет очень интеллектуальной, по-человечески challenging и вознаграждающее, но и будут прекрасные красивые вечеринки, бонусы, много успеха и много возможностей отмечать этот успех всем вместе. Так что мы с большим удовольствием поддерживаем сегодняшнюю вечернюю вечеринку. Там будут наши молодые банкиры, Степан, Святослав, вы, наверное, много с кем знакомы, наверное, некоторые из вас знакомы с кем-то из наших, так что их можно будет тоже подергать по всем вопросам. Вот. Если сейчас у кого-то какие-то вопросы, буду рада ответить, любые по поводу эспринга, меня лично, каких-то общих карьерных взглядов на жизнь. Я на связи, пока жюри совещаются. Время наше.
Наталья, спасибо вам большое за прекрасные слова. Они очень насущные, они очень понятные нам и очень мотивирующие. Ребята, спасибо. Да, ребята, спасибо вам, что подготовились, выступили. Это важный, ответственный этап, ключевой этап в вашей карьере. Вот, вы это будете помнить, и все вот эти связи, которые наработаны за этот год, они со временем очень и очень капитализируются. Вот, но мы тогда берем паузу. Наталья, спасибо еще раз. Тогда подождем судей с их результатами.
Спасибо, всем удачи. Остаюсь в фоновом режиме, послушать результаты, что к какому выводу придет жюри. Всем удачи.
Спасибо.
Да, у нас судьи посовещались и готовы вынести решение. Андрей, Алексей, Артур, вам слово.
Дорогие друзья, ну, прежде всего, разрешите поблагодарить за совершенно замечательные презентации, которые вы сегодня сделали, очень тщательно проработаны и идеи, и аргументы, и хорошо вы участвуете в споре, в обсуждении. В целом общий уровень профессиональный, на котором подготовлены все материалы, он просто восхищает. И за это хотелось вас поблагодарить. Конечно, кто-то лучше, кто-то хуже, но в целом все выступили прекрасно. Вот, мы с коллегами посовещались, у нас получилось абсолютно единодушное видение и по победителю сегодняшнего забега, скажем так, и в отношении того, кто, мы считаем, занял с небольшим отрывом второе место. Вот, поэтому мы хотели, прежде всего, значит, считаем, что второе место почетное получила команда Александрит, вот, и поздравляем их с этим. Вот, а победителем сегодняшнего обсуждения бразильского лития мы считаем команду Эмеральд. Вот, считаем, что они выступили наилучшим образом и тоже хотим их поблагодарить и поздравить с этим. Спасибо большое.
Звучат виртуальные аплодисменты.
Нет, коллеги из жюри, может быть, вы добавите что-то, пару слов позитивных.
Да, ну я бы добавил, да, что действительно еще помимо того, что хотел поблагодарить все команды, собственно, IB Club за организацию, видно, что как бы ваша работа не проходит зря. Действительно, все команды хорошо подготовлены, технически прекрасные презентации. Вот, наверное, бы ребятам еще порекомендовал, ну, наверное, все команды фокусироваться на двух вещах, да, там первое – это обязательно помнить о том, для кого вы готовите эту презентацию, да, и какие-то выводы в конце и рекомендации обязательно оставлять. Вот, там у кого-то это было, у кого-то нет, но тут действительно важно вот этот фокус не терять, то есть помимо вот того, что как бы действительно представить какую-то глубокую аналитику, нужно показать, что вот как бы angle, да, для кого вы это делаете, чтобы там люди, которые это смотрели, там, либо вы помогли им каким-то выводом прийти, либо они сами пришли. Вот, но повторюсь, что классный результат. Спасибо вам большое. Я думаю, все присутствующие, в том числе члены жюри обогатились знаниями о рынке лития, может быть, кроме Андрея. Вот. В общем, спасибо вам большое. Было познавательно, интересно, классно. Спасибо.
Да, ребят, я всех тоже хотел бы пару слов о себе рассказать. Все большие молодцы. Команду победителей поздравляю с заслуженной победой. Все ребята, на самом деле, подготовили очень классные презентации, провели большой анализ. Я, в принципе, представляю, сколько времени пришлось на все на это потратить. Вот. Хотел бы, наверное, всем пожелать успехов в своей карьере, которую вы наверняка кто-то уже начал, кому-то только предстоит начать. Уверен, вас ждет большой успех. И со многими наверняка мы еще увидимся и не раз. Вот тоже команде IB-клуба отдельно большое спасибо. Вы организовываете классное мероприятие и, в принципе, классный процесс для студентов. Да? То есть мы, как, скажем, представители работодателей, получаем от этого большие бенефиты, да, когда к нам приходят люди уже вооруженные полностью всеми необходимыми техническими, не только техническими скиллами, чтобы делать работу с первого дня. Вот, и, наверное, такое небольшое в качестве, может быть, юмора, а может быть и нет. Нам, наверное, уже скоро надо будет делать какой-то отдельный чемпионат, где будем слушать ребят не на английском, а, видимо, на китайском или на арабском языке. Вот поэтому, ребят, учите языки. Они нам всем с вами пригодятся. Всем спасибо, хороших выходных и удачи.
Да, ребята, от себя тоже хотел сказать всем большое спасибо за качественные презентации. На самом деле, еще когда презентации смотрел, отметил, что очень высокий уровень. Не думаю, что в мое там поколение выпускников и студентов презентации мы умели делать на таком же уровне, как вы сейчас. Это хорошо, то есть что есть прогресс. Вот, и в целом как бы стало спокойнее за будущее российского M&A рынка, как с точки зрения потенциальных ребят, которые на бай-сайде будут работать, так и на селл-сайде, потому что как бы давно как бы не видели новых ярких ребят, вот, так что уверен, что многие из вас, из тех, кто сейчас здесь есть, таковыми станут и построят отличную карьеру на рынке. Вот. Команду еще раз, Эмиральд, с победой, действительно классная работа. Вот, IB Club спасибо всем коллегам, которые тоже помогли, чтобы это мероприятие случилось, и всем спасибо, да, хороших выходных.
Отлично.
Да,
У нас-
спасибо большое.
Да.
Наверное, на этом мы именно вот трансляцию на YouTube закончим, но пока что оставляем Zoom, да, чтобы, там, может быть, вы могли задать какие-то интересующие вас вопросы членам жюри. Да, также хотел бы напомнить, да, что всех сегодня вечером ждем на награждении. Касается как студентов, так и уважаемых судей.
Да, от команды, я думаю, от лица команды